Hail! I'm Stephen Voros, certified Gothi, spiritual leader, and member of historical recreation group and Viking combat enthusiasts Sigtrygging Vikings of Ontario. I present here part 5 of a 5-part study of the Lesser Aesir. Learn to see from the blind, Hode. There are many fantastical and amazing stories of the Aesir accomplishing great feats. It is simple to see lessons of strength and courage presented in these. I will show here that there are lessons given to us by unlikely sources. Hode. Let us see what the blind can teach us. Hode is introduced to us as the blind brother of Baldur and one of Odin's sons. During the events before Ragnarok, Baldur is cursed with terrible dreams. He seeks Frigga, his mother, for her counsel about these dreams, and she becomes very fearful he will die. She decides to travel across the 9 realms, taking oaths from everything that they will not harm Baldur. After all creation has sworn these oaths, the Aesir assemble in the peace stand, where they test Baldur's supposed invincibility. Loki, being jealous of his brother, shapeshifts into an old hag and confronts Frigga about the oath she has made the world swear to. Loki learns that Frigga did not bother to have mistletoe swear the oath. Loki leaves Frigga and finds a sprig of mistletoe, which he fashions into a spear. With this, he travels to the peace stand and finds Hode. Although the other Aesir are throwing stones and spears at Baldur, Hode cannot because he is blind. Loki convinces Hode to participate, gives Hode the spear of mistletoe, and guides him to throw it at Baldur. This kills Baldur. Loki vanishes, and Vali kills Hode. The Aesir have a funeral for Baldur. Frigga is so sorrowful and saddened by her son's passing, she sets into motion a plan to return Baldur from hell, which ultimately fails when Loki interferes. At a gathering in Aegir's hall, sometime after the funeral, the Aesir are feasting and sharing nice words with one another. Loki is in attendance, and when hearing such niceties, must spoil the gathering by revealing he tricked Hode into slaying Baldur. Loki is captured afterward and punished, being chained in a cave, stripped naked, and having a venomous snake placed over his head so it drips its venom onto Loki. Loki stays here until Ragnarok. When Ragnarok occurs, Loki leads the dead out of hell on the ship Naglfar and meets Heimdall in the Valley of Vingrind, where the two fight, and they slay each other. After Ragnarok is concluded, we see Hode again. The world is flooded to extinguish the fires Surt caused during the battle. When the floods recede, the survivors return to the world. Among them are Vali and Baldur, guiding Hode out of hell. All hostilities and animosities between them are forgotten. These are the times Hode is mentioned in the Prose Edda. Of these stories, we can learn from the Aesir examples of respect, fallibility, acceptance, guilt, justice, and understanding. The first information we get about Hode is that he is Odin's son. Therefore, he is an Aesir. The second we get is that he is blind. The simple knowledge teaches us that one does not have to see to be great. Every human being has strengths and weaknesses. They may be different, but respect is given equally. Hode is blind. He sits alone at the peace stand and cannot participate with his friends in the sport of testing Baldur's invincibility. With Loki's assistance, he can participate. This action may lead to negative consequences, but in that moment, Hode is glad to be sharing in the sport, and the Aesir are happy to see Loki helping out Baldur's brother. In this isolated act, it is seen the joy created in helping the less fortunate overcome their fallibility. Also, we see the great responsibility we have when doing so. As Loki steers Hode into committing a great misdeed, we too have the ability to lead the blind down the wrong path. In this, we learn to stay vigilant in the morals of ourselves and the goals of our community, for ourselves and those we lead. Loki manipulates and lies, arranging events to play out to his goals and shunting the consequences of actions to others. Hode is blamed and punished without being aware of what has occurred. In this, we see to accept how others may manipulate events in our lives, and we may not have the ability to change or even perceive it is happening. Hode accepts this. When he rises out of hell, he has no ill will or conflict with Vali, accepting that the guilty party will reveal itself and justice will be done. Loki reveals his own guilt. When in Aegir's hall, Loki becomes so frustrated when surrounded by his friends enjoying themselves. Seeing only guilt in himself, he must ruin the gathering for all. Here we see that a guilty mind is its own punishment. If we pursue our goals through manipulation and lies, the guilt of doing so will not allow us to enjoy the fruits of our conniving. Loki is tortured and killed. When the Aesir catch Loki, they go to great lengths not only to imprison him away from their society, but to make certain he is suffering for an eternity. When Loki is freed during Ragnarok, he is killed. Loki was once a friend of the Aesir, but through his actions he has isolated himself away from them and earned great hatred. We learn from this the response society has for lies and manipulation. Our goals must be attained through honest means, hard work, and cooperation. If our fellow humans learn we are abusing their trust and taking advantage of them, they will respond very negatively, not only removing us from their help and influence, but possibly actively seeking our downfall. Society seeks justice. Baldur forgives Hode. Hode forgives Vali. Loki's actions cause Hode to kill Baldur. Vali kills Hode in revenge and to see justice is done. When Hode and Baldur return, no animosity or hatred is shared between them. Although the Aesir here may have carried a grudge with one another for the violence they have committed, they understand the true cause of their pain. We may be led to believe a colleague has committed an offense toward us. In time, this knowledge can grow into great hate. It is important, however, to place hate where it is due, to understand that others may fail in their vigilance and be manipulated to act out one other's misdeeds towards us. Lies tend to weave webs and catch many inside them. It is the individual who weaves the webs who claims the responsibility. Here, I have highlighted some knowledge we can gain from simple blind Hode. The stories involving him can teach us lessons about respect, fallibility, acceptance, guilt, justice, and understanding. It is my hope that with continued study and reflection, we can see lessons in these stories others may not have. I'd like to take a moment to remind each of you that these videos are intended to start a discussion. Please leave your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. For other Viking-related content, please check out the Sigtrygging Vikings of Ontario Facebook page and YouTube channel. I will put a link in the description. Thank you for watching. Skål!